Hello friends, welcome to another exciting episode of Learn with Musa. I hope all of you are staying home all the time. Let's break this COVID-19 chain. Let the humanity emerge again strong as ever before by helping each other by spreading love and kindness. After all, we are going to leave this lower level of world one day for sure. Till then, keep learning and spread it across. Okay friends, today we will continue understanding web services concepts. In the last session, we understood about what is web service, how the programmable web allows different applications or services to interact with each other. If you haven't seen it or need a quick recap on it, you can find the link either in the description box or at the right hand side corner of this video. So friends, we understood that for the web services or API to work, there should be a mandatory request submitted in order to get a response from the API across the network. And we know that web APIs works with HTTP protocol and it's a request response protocol. So let's try to understand a little more about request. Any request which goes from a client machine to the web service software fundamentally associated with two things, comprising two kinds of informations. They are called method information and scoping information. So friends, let's check that. What are they? First thing is about method information. What does the client want the server to do? Like, should it give back some information or should it write some new information? This is called method information. Some examples are like, client may want server to write some new information, or it may want server to give back some information, or the client may want server to delete some data from the server, or it may want server to update something which is already existing. There can be other actions too, but we will keep it simple and these four. This is known as the method information. This is the fundamental action or verb that client basically want the server to do. And the second thing is that on what particular data or resource the client would like these actions to happen. Like what data the client is interested to get back from the server, or post to the server, or delete it from the server, etc. This is known as the scoping information. Now these two things, method information and scoping information, plays the major role in classifying the types of web services. So friends, I hope you got an idea about what is method information and what is scoping information. And as I mentioned earlier, when we work on web, the communication is primarily done through the HTTP protocol. And there are different ways through which we can pass the method information and scoping information to the server. And different ways of you performing this. In other words, how or where you are putting these informations determines which architectural style your web applications or services falls in. So it's just the style of developing the services. To give an example, when a client system want to submit a request to Flickr, Flickr is a popular image and video hosting service. The client want to get the list of interesting photos, for example. It could have been done in different ways, like the one I am showing in the screen right now, if the service is developed in that style. Or it could be a more simplified form, as the second one displayed in the screen. So based on this type of models, how the method information and scoping information are passed in a client request, we have different types of architectural styles in place today. So these are the styles or guidelines using which the service endpoints are built. So friends, just keep that in mind. So friends, let's see what are those architectural styles. The first one is RESTful resource oriented. Then we have RPC style. Then we have REST RPC hybrid flavors. So these are the three most popular styles that we have today. REST stands for representational state transfer. In RESTful style, The method and scoping informations are passed in the request line itself. As we are aware, the HTTP request has a line, a header, and a body to pass different data, and RESTful style utilizes the already existing HTTPS methods like get, put, post, delete, update, etc. As you know, any HTTP request is already associated with a request method. So, what I'm saying is that REST is not really a technology or a protocol. It is a model for designing and building the web services. The fundamental idea is that everything on the web is a resource. Web services developed with RESTful style allows you to retrieve a representation of a resource, or it allows you to create or overwrite a representation of a resource. So developer need not write any methods or operations to fetch the resource, as ultimately we would be wanting to do only crude operations, that is create, read, update or delete operations on the resources, and it uses HTTP methods. As it utilizes the HTTP methods itself, it is more uniform and easy to utilize by the clients. One generic example would be any website which gives back the static resources are also in the RESTful architectural styles, and the web itself was built on this REST style. Taking our previous example of Flickr's interesting photos, in a RESTful service, the list of interesting photos would be a resource identified by a unique URI. The client would retrieve a representation of that resource using an HTTP GET request. The URI might looks as shown in the screen. It looks very similar to the human readable version of the URI. So friends, now let us look about the RPC style. In RPC style, the method is deliberately developed. We don't use the already existing HTTP methods which is associated to any request. The method and scoping informations both are passed through the request body, mostly in the form of an XML which will have its own format and tags to pass the data, etc. Hybrid is a combination of above two styles, wherein the method info are developed and it along with the scoping information are also passed in the URI. And based on these architectural styles or models, the web services, I can even say about web apps, are also classified into different forms like the REST, which follows the RESTful architectural resource oriented style. Then we have some forms of SOAP. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol, and which follows RPC style. That's it for today's session, guys. So we have discussed about the classification of web services. What are the different styles of developing them? We understood about RESTful architectural style, then the RPC, then the hybrid flavors about them. Based on that, we had different web APIs like REST API, SOAP APIs, etc. I know friends that I have touched only the tip of a large iceberg, but I believe this is a decent amount of information for us to get the basics about the web services. And this only gives us a starting point to explore further. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you got a fair amount of idea about what is web services and its classifications. Please stay tuned for more videos about testing strategy of web APIs, how we can focus on the functional business scenarios of APIs, API contract testing, etc. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and click on the bell icon to instantly get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Will I catch you in another tutorial? It's Musa signing off. Goodbye.